Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we're going to dive deep into one of the biggest e-commerce wars out there. And in this particular video, we're going to outline one of the newest members of this war. Actually, it's not a new member, but it's a store called Owala, and they've done over $750 million selling water bottles, stainless steel water bottles. This is the war that we're talking about today, the stainless steel water bottle war. As you can see here, judging by this trend line, we can see that this is a significantly increasing trend line. I mean, this is breaking out year over year, which is pretty interesting. There's a lot of reasons for it, and one of them is because there's a million water bottles dropping every single day. There's Stanley, there's Simply Modern, there's so many brands. I think it's Simple Modern actually, but in this video I want to outline Owala specifically because as it says here, they are very popular, particularly amongst Gen Z. So it's a very interesting approach that they're taking that I think we can learn a lot from. So without further ado, let's take a look. This is their Shopify store. And as you see, it's pretty colorful, it's pretty fun, and I think that's why it appeals to Gen Z, right? It's kind of a younger vibe. They have very vibrant colors. It's really nicely done, to be honest. I mean, it's like vibrant, but not vibrant. It's fun colors, but they're like pastel colors. I really love their landing page designs because they're extremely simple. Their landing page drives an extremely high amount of traffic. I mean, 5.2 million monthly visitors is no joke by any means. They're posting a lot of their social media content here as a carousel under their main add to cart, which is really clean. And then, of course, they frequently bought together, which is brilliant. A lot of e-com stores don't do stuff like this for some reason. But, you know, the biggest brands in the world do this, including Amazon, of course, which is the biggest e-com brand in the world, if you really think about it. And it's smart to do that because sometimes people want to buy more things, especially if they've already been sold on your brand. Now, they have a interesting YouTube video here, which is not super common, I guess, amongst a lot of e-com brands, but some of the best e-com brands do this. So free sip, it's just a very nicely done video, 40,000 reviews. Honestly, this isn't as crazy as I thought it would be. Okay, some of these animations are super nice, but it's not something that you couldn't produce if you have, you know, a product like this. I think it wouldn't be too difficult to do that. I know a decent amount of photographers, even in my city, that could shoot something similar. You just need the right product. Here they have a how to clean your water bottle video. That's really smart. So as you see here, they're just going to show us how you clean it. It looks super high quality. Wash the base with hot soapy water. I mean, very simple videos, but they're shot with a nice camera. And then, of course, the reviews, lastly, and then some FAQs under that. Pretty simple, right? I mean, honestly, it's not a very complex layout, but it does get the job done because they are so well branded and, you know, they're kind of answering all your questions in this very simple lander. Now, interestingly enough, most of their traffic does come from Facebook, which is not where you would think a Gen Z brand is getting most of their traffic. And this is a great lesson on just how powerful meta ads can really be because they go on Instagram and Facebook. A lot of people, for some reason, separate the two. They think Facebook ads are just Facebook ads. And that's why I like to call it meta ads because, well, the company's called Meta now and they own Facebook and Instagram. So you can run ads on both placements, which is what I recommend everybody do, because you never know where your target demographic is going to be just chilling at, right? It's doom scrolling at. And Meta does know, right? Meta is super smart. Their pixel is very, very complex. Their algorithm is extremely sophisticated. So just trust the Meta algorithm, right? And especially with a trend like this is unbelievable. Now, this is a $9 billion war, apparently. I didn't know how big this stainless steel water bottle market is. And I always just find it so funny, right? Because at all times there's like new innovative tech happening in the world, especially with AI. Like every single day, I feel like there's a new AI company, right? That is just completely revolutionizing how we view the world, how we use different things. But meanwhile, there's also these huge markets where it's just water bottles, right? Like super, super simple. But I do think there's a bigger trend behind this. I think the bigger trend is the rise of health trends, right? Of course, people want to hydrate. That's a really good trend. Electrolytes, that's another one that kind of fits into this this trend of people wanting to hydrate more, be healthier. But then also the microplastics trend. People are getting sick of microplastics. There's a lot of interesting data and information coming out basically every year on how bad microplastics can be, and also just how many microplastics we have in our daily lives, or we consume in our daily lives without even knowing, right? So this solves that problem. So even though a water bottle may not seem like something that solves a problem, it does seem like a commoditized product, and in many ways it is. It actually does solve a massive problem. So I do want to take a look at their meta ads here, because like I said, these guys are very brilliant with how they're driving traffic, and they're getting they have over 410 different ads active right now, which is not uncommon for brands at this level. We've worked with brands at this level, and it's actually pretty common for brands to have, over 100 ads on at all times. Creative diversity, if you don't know, is a very, very important thing when it comes to meta ads performance. And again, it's because the meta algorithm knows when to show an ad to what person at what time to get them to buy, especially if that's what you're optimizing for purchases, right? Now, free sip twist, I do want to see just where they're driving traffic to. Okay, so just straight to landing pages. Not uncommon. Again, like I mentioned, this is what most brands do, but some brands do, like some of the most elaborate brands, like brands that we've studied recently, like Spoiled Child, they are driving traffic to advertorial pages or quiz landing pages. They're getting a little bit more sophisticated in order to scale bigger. Spoiled Child, they are worth multiple billions of dollars, but honestly, this brand is on the way to being worth multiple billions of dollars too, which is pretty impressive. And all their ads are actually, it's just mainly image ads, which is kind of shocking to me. They do have some videos here, like an 8-second video. Let's see. One bottle for all your favorite drinks. That's all it is. Very, very simple ad. It's a nice looking water bottle. I think these guys have just nailed aesthetics and a really strong brand image, which I love. And I think a lot of people obviously value that, right? A lot of girls value that. But not just that. If we actually take a look at this summary here, we can see that they used TikTok so well. And this is something that I've been talking about for a very long time. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record for you guys here, but TikTok is such a powerful platform for brands, and so many people neglect it. And they think that TikTok success is like an isolated gain for the brand. But what they don't seem to realize is how that affects the rest of your business. If you go viral on TikTok, I guarantee you your Amazon sales are going to blow up, your Shopify traffic is going to increase. And not just that, but all of that content, right? Especially if you're utilizing affiliate marketing on TikTok Shop, which I recently made a video about, so make sure you check that out. If you're utilizing affiliate marketing on TikTok, then chances are you'll have the rights to use your affiliate videos or the videos that your affiliates produce for running meta ads. So now when you do that, you're combining this viral, organic, feeling ad, right, that has just performed well by an actual user, right, an affiliate that actually uses the product. Now you're taking that and you're putting machine learning algorithms and technology behind it with meta ads and budget. So it's just crazy, honestly. It's really unbelievable what you can do these days. And before I continue, I do want to say we are launching a platform that kind of teaches you how to do all this too. I know I talk about it a lot, and we do this a lot at our agency, but we're creating this platform where we're going to have so much of these frameworks and processes that you can install in your business at the click of a button. Basically, I'll give you a little sneak peek, along with a variety of things, right? So one thing that we can do here, for example, it's kind of fun. There's a lot of features here that are very interesting that I'm using a lot, is we can see, is this a Shopify store? Let me put it in here. Yes, the store does run on Shopify. We don't know the theme, but it is a Shopify store. And that's no surprise to me, because some of the biggest brands in the world do run on Shopify, and I actually think more brands will do that. I'm a big believer in the Shopify vision. I'm a shareholder. I'm a Shopify commerce coach, a partner. Like, I'm all in on Shopify. I'm building Shopify stores. I'm building a platform for Shopify stores, or an accelerator platform for building Shopify stores. So make sure you sign up for this. The waitlist will be in the description. I'm super excited to launch this. I think it's going to be next level. It's going to be unlike anything you've seen in the space before. It's just going to take, your store to the next level, or if you want to start a store, it's going to allow you to do that in a very precise, data-driven way, which is what we're all about on this channel, right? So ultimately, I think this brand is brilliant. I think they've really nailed down this like cultural fit, which allows them to get, resold on eBay, for example. People are literally reselling these things on eBay, these water bottles, which to me is just wild. Like, water bottles have become a fashion statement, a fashion piece. I don't remember in what video we talked about that, but it's just crazy to see it happen over and over again with new brands coming into the scene. I will say these guys have been at it for a while, right? They started, I believe, in 2016. So that's pretty crazy, right? Like, that's even before I knew about e-commerce. So like, it's pretty unbelievable how much progress you can make when you just focus on your brand or on one thing for a very long time. And I think that's pretty common advice, but nowadays it is really hard to do that, especially because there's new opportunities coming up every single day. I'm really sorry if my channel gives you a little bit of shiny object syndrome, but I do try to keep it at least centered around e-commerce. I just want to help create a network effect of e-com brands, right? I want to see more e-com brands out there like Owala. And honestly, these things are really inspiring to me, seeing like billion-dollar e-com brands spawn over years, right? It does take a very long time, but we're seeing a lot of new acquisitions happening in e-com. Like Poppy, for example. Poppy recently got bought for $1.9 billion in the span of 5 years. So that's unbelievable growth and an unbelievable outcome. So I'm just very excited to be a part of the direct-to-consumer world, even if you're dropshipping, right? Like, I don't discriminate when it comes to e-com. And ultimately, I want to build the best community for e-com here. But not just e-com, I like to look at this from the frame of an investor too. I would love to own a company like this. I'm trying to get in the water bottle war. I would love to own some Owala stock if it's possible. But yeah, there's a lot to learn from here. I think the main things, just to kind of summarize it, is very simple layout, but super strong brand identity, right? Like, the landing page is extremely simple, but the brand identity is just on point. Like, everything about it is congruent. They have really high quality shots here. So it's not just like little Instagram posts from users. It's actual brand identity product shoots, right? So I love this. I think it really speaks to the brand identity. So like, that's kind of the strongest thing about this brand. Of course, they have a high quality product. So let's see what people in the reviews are saying, right? So I love Owalas and said one was enough until I saw these. They're so cute for a little touch of magic throughout the day and keep my water ice cold for hours. Okay, I love the glitter. Definitely make more colors with glitter. We own more Owalas than I care to admit, and this is easily one of our favorites. So, okay, let's see what people are saying on the negative side of things. Unfortunately, after only one use and hand washing, some of the so-called rubbed off in the area where the lid connects. So disappointed. So delicate. Scratched on the side. So yeah, people are complaining that it's quite delicate. So perhaps it's not as high quality as it could be. However, people are still loving it, right? It's still a pretty mixed opinion, and ultimately it does seem like the sentiment is largely positive, which is great. One thing that's really cool about the water bottle game too is that you can have multiple size options, right? So by having multiple size options, you can get a higher average order value. You can upsell different sizes here. So for example, here they're upselling a 40 ounce with a 24 ounce, which is pretty clever because different occasions call for different size water bottles. Perhaps if you're just going on a walk, you don't want to take a 40 ounce water bottle. Or if you're just going to the gym, maybe you do, right? Or maybe you just want to have a water bottle all day. Who knows? There's so many different scenarios where a larger water bottle applies. But ultimately, I think these guys are brilliant. I love what they're doing. I think it's very well done just overall. Like, to me, what this really represents is how strong a strong brand identity can be, right? Like, how much that can really carry your brand. Just really good design throughout your entire brand. That's what I'm getting out of this. It's very, very refined, and they know exactly who they're appealing to, their target demographic. They've clearly done a ton of research and continue to do a ton of research and invest into this brand avatar, right? And again, it's just crazy how powerful that can be. because it is pretty simple, right? It's a pretty simple thing to grasp. But I think most people don't really grasp that at all. A lot of people just focus on direct response, which also can get you quite far, of course. I mean, we know that. But it's just crazy what you can do when you pair it with very strong brand identity and congruence and a very clear brand avatar. So I'm really yapping at this point. I apologize, but I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.